Hey everyone, this is Hart and back with Dragon Force 2. Paulson was stuck between Grace and Gideon, or Scythe and Gaul. So even though I could continue to keep running, I decided to use Paulson. So here, this is the first time we've seen the skill Stone Rain, I think it's called. And while I'm at it, I'll tell you what Paulson is all about. Okay, Paulson, his element is Earth, he's a priest. His starting level is 1, he's only 15 years old, which he doesn't look, he looks way older than 15. He's male, he's a human, and he's from Tradnor. And he's been Sanith's friend for a long time. Because Sanith helped him out when he's being teased by others, he is very loyal to Sanith. I've never really bothered to use Paulson much because I don't really like his design. His magic is pretty good, if I'm not mistaken. He gets Stone Rain, Golem Attack, Earthquake, and Road of Soil. That's a really strange name for a spell. But I think there are plenty of other better Earth Elementals. Okay, so by letting Paulson be knocked out there, it means that his unit disappears from the map because he's injured. So it saves me having to constantly run away from the fights when he runs back and forth between there. And in the meantime, I've got Sanith and my other monarchs heading back east over to Tradnor so that they can deal with, I was going to say, yeah, Gaul and Grace, or Gideon and Scythe. I've never actually tried to have anyone other than your monarchs defeat them. I'm not sure if you can, but since Paulson tells you to send back your monarch, I always have just done that. And as I mentioned before, now that the path has opened up to the south, to Fandaria, you'll find that they come up to attack you quite swiftly, so it's a good idea to keep some good troops on standby. Okay, so here we're fighting. I'm doing my usual technique of using Barley to just soak up damage and having him use magic charge and heal to basically just tank. What is this guy's name? I didn't look at his name, so now I have to find him. Oh, his name's Agil. He's a warrior, his element is water, he starts at level 4, he's a 38-year-old male elf, and he's from Moon Palace. Okay. And then, we have to fight one of my least favorite characters, Kikyo. I don't know if I've mentioned here, but you can see in the middle underneath the versus mark, there's various signs that are coming up, like circles and squares. They tell you the troops that you're using, as opposed to the troops that the enemy general is using, and it tells you how effective the troops are, because certain troops do a lot of damage to other troops, or don't do a lot of damage, or are weak to certain other troops. A circle means effective. Like 2 circles, a circle within another circle, is very effective. A square is neither effective nor ineffective. A triangle is mildly ineffective, and if there's a cross, it means that that unit is very weak against the other unit. So it helps to pick units that are strong against the enemy. Okay, so that's Kikyo down. And now we have Eva. It's probably meant to be Eva in English. EVA. She's one of the fighter units, I think. They're a pretty cool looking unit, I think. Eva, yeah, she's a martial artist. Her element is wood. Her starting level is 4. She's a 21-year-old female human, and she's from Highland. She fell in love with Abert. She fell in love with Abert at first sight. And since then she's always tried to be close to him. So that's kind of cute. And now we have a duel! Yay, I love the duels. Certain characters perform a lot better in duels. Your level makes a big difference because although both of your HP bars look the same, if your character has a lot more HP and if the other character is not very strong, even when they hit you, your HP won't go down very much. Also, if your character has high attack, they'll drain the enemy's life a lot quicker. And then certain characters are better suited to duels. Like Bartz, the Monarch of Pandaria, he has a certain skill called Sword Dance, which lets you attack twice in one go, which is fairly useful for fighting off enemy units. But in a duel, it's indispensable because for every one hit the enemy general will put on you, you can get 2 hits in, which basically means you always win. There's also a spell that boosts your attack power, which is very useful in a duel. And then there's also critical hits, where the enemy will, or you can do it as well, will say something, like usually along the lines of take this or get ready, and you'll do 2 hits in a row. Occasionally there are characters that even do 3 hits in a row for their critical, and so it's basically luck based if both of your generals are a similar level. Okay, this is Tsubaki, she's quite a cool character. I've got her at level 15, so she's got a lot of magic and a lot of life and does a lot of damage. So let me find her skills. Okay, Tsubaki, she's a ninja. Her element is fire. She starts at level 15. She's a 24-year-old female and she's from Izumo. So the skills that she has are Wave Brace, Triple Blade, and Dagger Throw. So the first skill I used was Wave Brace, and then Triple Blade. They're useful skills because, like Sonic Boom, they could take out a lot of units, but they also do a fair amount of damage to the enemy general. And as usual, if the enemy general doesn't have any troops left and have low HP, they tend to run away. A way of getting around this, if your general doesn't have very many attack spells that you can just use in the last minute to knock them out, you can try to keep their units alive. Because even if a general is about to die, as long as they even have just 1 troop left, they won't retreat, even if it means that they're going to get knocked out. So if you can manage to keep their troops alive, it certainly helps if you want to get the extra experience for knocking them out. And then this character is Stefano, who, if I remember correctly, plays quite an important role in Bart's campaign, the Monarch of Pandaria. Let's find his biography. I think he's a pretty cool character. Okay, Stefano. He's a martial artist. His element is fire. He starts at level 1. He's a 22-year-old half Dogo. And I'll let you watch this duel. Okay, pretty one-sided, but and he's from Zeldokia, which is the enemy's empire, so that's quite interesting. He was like a, what do you call it when people fight for money? He was a boxer in the downtown, but was and was picked up by Delcia. He's at his root, he's a very honest person, so he was happy to follow Delcia, and then he was happy to follow Bart's in turn. So he's an interesting character. I think he plays quite a large part in Bart's campaign. So even though we managed to defeat that unit of generals, and you capture a lot of the generals that you did manage to defeat, Pandaria keeps sending people over, so you can try and fill up your units as quickly as possible, or at least keep a large number of units ready. Okay, this is Ayame, who I think is either related to or is very closely associated to Kikyo, who we fought in the last turn. Okay, yeah, Kikyo is the older sister of Ayame. Ayame is a samurai. Her element is Earth. She starts at level 1, she's 17 years old, and she's a female from Izumo, and she's human. So, I've never really liked the characters Ayame and Kikyo because, I don't know, their portraits are kind of fugly. I'm very shallow like that. I tend to judge the characters a lot by how they look. This is Enzo. He's really cool, actually. He's fairly important in Bartz's yeah, that is right, Bartz's campaign as well. He is a martial artist, apparently, but he has a sword. Okay, I'm not really sure about that. His element is Earth. He starts at level 2. He's a 42-year-old male human, and he's from Pandaria. He's a farmer who lost both his home and his fields. And in despair, he turned to banditry. He is the grandfather. He's the grandfather of the blind girl Fina. And when Bart saves her, he joins him out of thanks. Bifa is this character. Who's Fina? I'm intrigued now. Bifa is also a martial artist. Her element is light. She starts at level 3. She's a 20-year-old female human from Pandaria. Apparently she's a singer, and she is the younger sister of Fang. Since her older brother is a kung fu artist, she came to learn some kung fu as well. A lot of the time, if the enemy general is low on health and has no units to start with, your soldiers won't even get to them before they tend to give up. So, or if they have very low health, they'll usually not consent to a duel unless they're much higher level than you. As you'll see here, we have 40 beastmen, or high beasts, and Enzo has no units, and he's in red health. So before my units even get to attack him, he actually surrenders. It's kind of annoying, but it's a necessary evil. And this guy is Giuseppe. So Giuseppe is a swordsman. His element is Earth. He starts at level 4. He's a 43-year-old male human from Pandaria. He used to be a bodyguard of Delcia. I think Delcia is important in Bart's campaign. I'm not actually sure who that refers to. Ah, okay, that was really close. As you can see, when you get a critical, it can really turn the tide in your favor. So, but he's basically dead. He has 2 HP left and no units, so it's just a matter of finishing him off. I'll try and get Isaac some more experience since he's only level 2. You don't get a lot of experience for making the enemy retreat as opposed to defeating them outright, but I didn't even move my troops and he retreated, but it's worth something at least. So we captured Giuseppe there. And the units we didn't capture... Oh, Isaac leveled up, that's good. The units we didn't capture are running away, so Rifa and Enzo both escaped.